Coming up on Look Today, well, a march took place on Sunday in Glens Falls in honor of the centennial anniversary of the women's suffrage movement in New York. I've got details. And we've got updates on the affordable housing discussion in Saratoga Springs. Plus, the Saratoga Springs Horse Show kicks off its second week on this Wednesday. We've got details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program I sit down with Greg Veach. Now, he's the author of a book, All the Law in the World Won't Stop Them. He's here to talk about the history of gambling in Saratoga Springs and a Q&A and book signing event that's happening this Thursday at the Canfield Casino. I also sit down with Kimberly Harvish. Now, she's an educator at the Chapman Historical Museum in Glens Falls, and she's here to talk about the Women's Suffrage Movement March that happened Sunday in Glens Falls. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Now, before I get to the headline story, we just had some breaking news. The jury has come in on the Alex West case. You might recall that's a tragedy that happened on Lake George over the summer. He's been found guilty on 6 counts, including second-degree manslaughter and criminal negligent homicide. It's heavy stuff. I'll have a comment at the lookout at the end of the program tonight. Now to the headlines. In our lead story, over 100 people marched in downtown Glens Falls on Sunday in honor of the centennial anniversary of the women's suffrage movement. Now, 97 years ago, the 19th Amendment was passed, which gave women the right to vote across the whole nation. Well, many of those involved in the march portrayed historical figures such as Susan B. Anthony. Now, the march served as a reminder of the historical significance of this struggle in the women's movement. Now, we were at the march and we spoke to Kim Harvish. She's the educator for the Chapman Historical Museum in Glens Falls, who, by the way, portrayed Gertrude Foster Brown.
This is the centennial, suffrage centennial in New York State, and we wanted to celebrate that. New York State has a lot to do with the fact that women got suffrage, the 19th Amendment, and we're leading up to 2020.
And by the way, I have a wonderful interview with Kim later on in the program. Well, in other news, a special council meeting took place in Saratoga Springs on Friday. It was on inclusionary zoning laws, which are part of the Affordable Living Initiative. Well, the zoning laws state that for every number of housing developments that are built, 20% of those must qualify as affordable. Now, as we told you on Friday, this week we are presenting arguments from those who face logistic and financial issues concerning this issue. Now, they say that because this would be an unfunded mandate, the cost to build affordable housing would be the same as regular homes. Now, we were at the meeting, and Sonny Bonaccio, the owner of Bonaccio Construction, spoke on the issue.
The for-sale product with the inclusionary zoning really is riddled with a lot of issues. Making that logistically work, I think, is more problematic than what we're going to see coming out of it. And there's a lot of communities that you can look at and talk to. I was actually just happened to be sitting next to a banker right now that has on some of that funding, and he says it's tremendously problematic. I don't think that the for-sale product is something that the city should get into initially. I do think potentially we can make the rental stuff work.
Well, that's an important issue. Now, tomorrow we're going to have more on this because John Witt of John Witt Construction also spoke at that meeting. Well, switching from news to weather, today saw a decrease in temperatures and expect some rain. They even said maybe some snow later tonight. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. As we jump into the forecast, trying to see a little last fling of winter trying to push back through, watching a pretty potent area of snowfall well off to our north, rotating in, still some chances of showers and snow showers as we go through the next 24 hours here. Then high pressure work back in, and we're going to see a series of fronts also trying to swing back in later in the week. But for now, we're going to see temperatures around or below freezing. See Burlington 28 degrees, 35 in Albany, 33 in Scranton. No really threat of snow snow further down to the south, but with clearer skies there. They will get colder overnight. High pressure still waiting to move back in for now, but still that cloud cover becoming thicker overnight. We'll see some showers at times. Now, no big washout and maybe a few morning flakes. A little bit of flake activity, a few snow showers as we wake up early tomorrow morning. Not out of the question. Low 33, but we're going to quickly rise back up in the 50s, and we'll still see some chances of some stray showers through the morning, but mostly cloudy skies will be with us through the daytime. So out the door tomorrow morning, definitely put on the thicker jacket, 34 to 38 degrees. We'll still see a chance of some patchy morning drizzle or snowflakes, but all in all, just kind of a cool and dreary morning. Temperatures will come back up nicely as we see high pressure clearing us out for Wednesday. Wednesday's high 59, 61 degrees. Thursday, Friday 62, and we should hold clear for the back half of the work week. Into the weekend, we'll see another dose of showers, about a 30% chance of rain back with us on Saturday. Well, that's it from the First Look Weather Center. Now let's send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Brad. Well, it looks like we got to wait till Wednesday. Back to the news. Speaking of Wednesday, May 10th marks the second week of the Saratoga Horse Show. Now, this year is the last year that the horse show will take place on the Yaddo grounds. Well, the charity horse show, run by the Capital Fund of Saratoga County, has helped support over 66 different needy groups in Saratoga County. And the show has raised a sum total of $256,000 over the last 5 years. Well, we spoke to Tom Fuston about plans for the location of the horse show next year.
For next year, we're looking at some properties, hopefully staying in town. We want to stay in town, but there's some criteria we need to fulfill in order to make it work for us. So we'll be making a decision probably in about a month about where we're going to be for 2018.
Now, Tom, by the way, is coming in this week for an interview. All right, Saratoga County is always looking for volunteers. So if you want to help, you can visit SaratogaSpringsHorseShow.com. Up next, I sit down with Greg Veach. He's the author of the book, All the Law in the World Won't Stop 'Em. You want to know what that's about? It's about the history of gambling in Saratoga Springs and a book signing and question and answer event that's happening this Thursday at the Canfield Casino. I also sit down with Kimberly Harvish. She's the educator for the Chapman Historical Museum in Glens Falls, and she's here to talk about the Women's Suffrage Movement March that happened Sunday in Glens Falls. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple of lookouts, including look ahead for the week. But I just want to address this conviction on the Alex West case. I've been boating on Lake George for 40 years, and it's a real tragedy anytime. And I've lost some friends. At any age, you know, you tend to drink, you tend to hang out, you tend to have fun. It's the summertime and whatever. But you know what? Here's a reminder that any time that you get behind the wheel of a boat, how careful you really have to be, because people's lives are at stake. All right, but it's Monday, so we're going to look ahead. We're covering the Saratoga Horse Show this week. Glens Falls Hospital is coming in about the art of healing. Very interesting. Paul Jenkins, superintendent of Glens Falls, will be in. Teddy Foster, the Universal Preservation Hall person, will be in. Always a great interview. And we're doing an interview with Sergeant Eddie Ryan and his dad. That's an interview we did last year that we heard a lot about. And I want to introduce you all to Eddie Ryan if you don't remember. The Hyde Collection will be up there this week. Lake Luzerne is stocking fish in the lake for all you fishermen. So we're going to cover that, and Saratoga Plan will be in. Okay, that's it. Tonight on Look TV, we got Beyond the Headlines, new edition of Tracks. And don't forget, tune in Monday night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.